Hello guys, what's up and welcome to the new tutorial from the SketchUpArchStudio. In this tutorial we will talk about Enscape exterior rendering for SketchUp, very simple and easy. So we work with the latest version of Enscape 3.5.6. So we will talk about this simple villa design in here. We don't have any special interior furniture or design. We only want to create some exterior render, and we talk about how we can set out exterior setting for realistic renders in Enscape for SketchUp. So in this place, I'm going to start my job with lighting. As you can see, this is the SketchUp environment. These two areas is for the trees, and this is my ground and surface in here. This is the simple pool in this place, and I want to relight my lights in this area. So I'm going to click on the Ctrl S, save my file, click on the Enscape objects in here, and now I'm going to click on the spotlight in this place. I want to create some spotlight, very simple and easy, but I don't know how. So I'm going to click on this place, this one, and this one. So I created my first light in my environment. First of all, the point is that I created this 3D model only with some ready scales, so it's not really work well in the scale and area. For this reason, I'm going to select all of it, deselect my lights, click on the scale option and rescale it a little bit to achieve to the best results. So now I have some light in here. I'm going to click on the end point of it, move it a little bit in this place, for example, and I can take some copies. So I'm going to click on the copy option and take 4 copies in here. So I'm going to click on these lights. All of these lights are components, as you can see. I'm going to click on this place, Alice Blue, as my self-illuminated light in here, something like that. I can click on the edit mode and turn the light color a little bit warmer, something like this, for example. Maybe like that is good. So I'm going to click on the Alice Blue again, add it to my areas, like that, like that, like this, and this one. So I'm going to click on the Ctrl S, click on this IES profile in here, click on the Enscape objects, load IES profile. I'm going to check it out, and it will direct me to my files. I think in this place I have IES lights in here. I prefer to choose IES light number 5 and press open. So it takes a little bit time, and now you can see the changes. It's a little bit small, so I can increase the intensity of it to some number about 2000 candela. Don't worry about the power of it, we will set all of them. So now time for the starting Enscape. Before you start Enscape, for preventing some type of special errors, always try to save your file, Ctrl S, and now I'm going to click on the start Enscape. It takes a little bit time, and after that Enscape will be generate for us some new real-time visualizing area. So I think now it's over. It takes a little bit time. It depends on your graphic card and your system. So this is my area. I'm going to move near to my villa. Something like that is great. I'm going to go a little bit to the far side of my job. So I'm going to click on the create save frame in this place. And now time for the creating camera. I'm going to press F, click on the create view in here, unlink my visual presets, and rename the CAD view name to the CAD 201. And my XYZ coordinate is not really important right now, but pitch and yaw is really important. When I look to the upside, the pitch will be increased in the positive numbers. And when I look to the downside, pitch will be completely converted to some negative file. I need some straight camera shot. So I'm going to turn it to the 0. Yaw option is related to the right and left camera coordination. I prefer to use 90-degree because I need some super straight camera. XYZ is not really important, but Y option is your eye height. Now it's about 10 meter from the ground. I prefer to use 11, something like that. And azimuth and altitude is really important in here. I'm going to hold Shift and RMB. So when I click and drag, turn the mouse around, I can see the changes in my environment. So it's very simple and basic, and you can see the changes very simple in these areas. So I prefer to use some rainy mode render. So I need some clock about, for example, 9:30, something like that. And altitude is about 52.6. But azimuth is related to the ascent direction. So if I hold Ctrl plus U and I can change the ascent direction. You can see the result. I prefer to have some sun from the left side. So something like that is good. I'm going to click on the azimuth. 163 is enough. I'm going to click on the create option. CAD number 1 selected for me. And now time for the rendering. I'm going to click on the visual setting in here, move it to this place, and I need to focus more on my job. So I can reduce the field of view, something like that, for example, and some number about 66 is enough, or maybe 65. And exposure is really important, but I'm going to click on the atmosphere and turn off the sun brightness to the 0. And I can adjust about 4, for example, something like that, not too much. So in the skybox, I need to make my weather much cloudy than the other times. So if you look at the air, you can see the result. I'm going to increase the density to the 100, variety to the 100, and cirrus amount to the 100. Now we have some super cloudy weather in our environment. Count reel is not really important. I can play with the longitude and latitude. It completely depends on you. For example, 6,000 meter is enough. White cubes for my better reflection on my glasses. Rotation is not really useful in here because we don't use any type of special HDRIs. Output on the Full HD, I can change it to the Ultra HD. My render format is on the PNG. Atmosphere, now time for it. So I'm going to click on the F option again, CAD number 001, something like that. So I'm going to start my job with adjusting some type of trees. So I'm going to click on the asset library in here. I need some tree from the right side of my frame. So I'm going to go to the right side a little bit, change the assets category to the vegetations. And I'm going to click on the tags and only I want to select trees in here. So now I need some tree with some good detailed leaves. So I'm going to search for it and I think some type of trees like that can be good, for example, or I can go a little bit to these places. Something like that is not really bad. But the size of it is a little bit too small. Don't worry about it. You can push it in here. Click on the select option, select it, scale option, and rescale it. Something like that is really amazing. I'm going to move it a little bit to the left side, apply changes, and it takes a little bit of time, and after that, tree will generate for you. So I select these three in here. So I'm going to select another one in the left side. For example, someplace like this can be good. I'm going to click on the selection, the scale option, and I want to rescale it something like that. I'm going to click on the apply changes. If you want to have some more various type of rotations, you need to select these three, click on the rotate, and for example, we need to have some differences from this tree and that one, so we can rotate it very simple and easy. Everything is done for us. About the another part of the vegetation, I'm gonna go to this place in here. So we have some ground cover stones. So I need to adjust the size of them first of all. So I'm gonna minimize them in here, Enscape material editor. And I think we have some type of maybe pebble. Yes, it's that. I'm going to click on the texture of it. 3 meter is much better and realistic for it. I'm going to click on the albedo. This place is not really good in here. So I'm going to increase the displacement map and you can see the changes in here. It's really wonderful for people who like to change their type of working. 96% for the image fade and some type of dark tint color for them is much better right now. So reflection of them is really important. So real rocks in real world have some type of reflection about maybe 24. I'm sorry. I'm going to zoom on them. Something like that. So I think some type of reflection about 24 is good. Something like this is much better. And you can see the detail of them. The detail is really amazing. So time for the other materials. For selecting all materials much faster than the other times, you can click on the SketchUp material paint bucket, click on the sample paint, pick it up, and now you have them in here. I'm going to reduce the reflection as I can to some number about 11, something like this, because I imagine that we have some little bit wetness in our area. So 88 is enough. Image fade is good. Gasket wave related to the interior wood, so I'm going to change them. So I need some more reflection. 6% is good. I'm going to come down and come out, something like that. So about these wood plankets, I'm going to click on the wood planks in here. First of all, I need to increase the texture size of them, like that. And after that, I need to reduce the roughness of it. For example, for more reflection, 14 is good number for it, something like this. So normal map is good, but I can increase it to the 136. And now, time for the relighting our area. So I'm going to click on the Alice Blue. It's related to my halogen lights design in here. And I'm going to change the generic type to the self-illuminate. And now we have some lights in this area. It only helps you to create more realistic renders. It doesn't affect the environments right now because we are in the daylight mode. But if I change the sun position to the night mode, you can see the result in here, something like that. So don't pay attention to it because it's not really important at all. One, maybe 4000 candela is good. And generic type. I need this color, but I don't know what's the code of it. So I'm going to click on it, advanced mode, Control C, and paste it in my job, something like that. Warm color is much better. So I think everything is good in here. I'm going to click on the approve in this place, change it to some type of black color to set it with the wood blankets. If you don't know what is the approve in here, the Peru is the halogen frames color, so don't worry about it. Roughness is about 6%. Everything is good. It's Metallica, so 66 is good for it. And I think everything is done right now. So everything is nice in here, but I need to adjust some other type of things. For example, soil in here. It's not in my frame, so it's not really important. But in this place, we have some marble stone. I'm going to click on the marble, remove the roughness texture, and recreate my reflection. For example, 8% is good, something like this. And I need to refade it a little bit to the white color, something like that. And a little bit dark, something like this. About the water, I can click on the override global setting, reduce the intensity of the wind, and if I reduce the height option plus scale option, I have some clear water with better reflection. So it completely depends on you and what you want from your design. I prefer to increase the heights and the scale to see some small waves in my job. This completely depends on you and what you want from your render and what your client wants from your project. So everything is done in here. Glass number 3 is my glass in here. So I can rechange it very simple and easy. First of all, height of it, I'm going to reduce it. After that, height variation, I'm going to reduce it again to see these stone details in here. About the texture, texture is not really important in glasses, but you can reduce your roughness to the 24 and it helps you to create better realistic renders. Concentrate panels related to the walls, so you can see the texture of it in here. I prefer to hold it in some number about 74 in the roughness. Metallica is 1%, and specular. Concentrate don't have any reflection about the lights. So we can reduce the specular to the 21%. Intensity can be increased to the 146 for better details, and it can help you in your rendering. So dim gray related to your window frames. So I need some super metallica window frames in here, something like that. And I think it's much better than the other times. Construct number 3 is these walls in here, these exterior walls. You can see the result in here. And construct brushed is the another type of walls in here. About brushed, I'm going to increase the height map to the 154, and I think everything is done. I can click on the texture and adjust some rotations for it, something like that. I'm going to press F. CAD number 1 is good. Alright, forget about the textures, it's enough. If this content is useful for you till now, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. So time for the generating some super realistic render. First of all, I have some problem with these three in here. So I'm going to click on it, select it, but I can't move it in my frame. So it's not your problem. Sometimes it's related to your framing. You can close it in here, for example, or you can deselect it or select another type of thing. It completely depends on you. I'm going to click on this tree and move it a little bit to the forward to see more details of it, and a little bit to the right side. Something like that is much better. So everything is done for me about the rendering. Now I'm going to click on the people. I need some women, for example, who walking across the pool, or maybe this guy in here. You see, the scale is not really accurate because my modeling in the other type of scaling, so don't worry about it. But maybe something like this can be good. I'm going to select it like that, scale them, rotate them, and move them to some place like this. Alright, I'm going to click on the apply changes, and now I'm going to close the asset library, press F, CAD 001 in here, and I'm going to click on the visual setting. Now I'm going to come back to the atmosphere. I'm going to increase the fog intensity to some number about 80%, and I'm going to reduce the height of it to some number about 10 in front of my camera, so you can see the changes very accurate. Night sky is not really important in here. So shadow sharpness completely 0 because in the rainy weathers we don't have some sharp shadows. Artificial light brightness related to these spotlights. I can increase them a little bit, but it's not effective in my render. Ambient brightness not really useful right now, and wind option is not really useful. In the image bar, I'm going to use the auto contrast. Saturation can be increased, and color temperature can be increased too. So it completely depends on you. If you want some warm render, you can decrease it, and if you want some cold render, you can increase it. 8600 Kelvin is enough. Motion blur is 0, lens flare is 0, bloom is 0, and vignette. So we have some dark effects in front of our render. So if I increase the vignette, I can see this effect much more. Some number about 50% is enough. Chromatic aberration is 0. In the main bar, I'm going to turn off the auto exposure, and I think now we have some better lighting. I can change it to the 49, something like that. I'm going to turn on the depth of field, turn off the autofocus, and focus on my design. So it depends on you. You want to design on this people, focus on this people, or focus on your house. I prefer to focus on the house, and I prefer to reduce the depth of field to some type of decade number, about 16%. Rendering quality is on the ultra mode. I need a little bit outline, about 5%. And now everything is done. You can click on the asset library and click on these characters in here. And for example, rotate them a little bit in front of the camera in this place and move them a little bit to the backside. It completely depends on you and what you want from your designs. Completely depends on you. So I'm going to click on the apply changes. Everything is done for us right now. And I'm going to click on the furniture in here. Click on the tags option and select the outdoor furniture. Enscape have some multiple different assets. For example, one chair in here. I'm going to click on it, select it, and rescale it. Something like that. Click on the rotation and rotate it in front of my camera shot. Move them a little bit to the backside and click on the apply changes. As you can see, all of them will be set for you very simple and fast. It completely depends on your graphic card. I think everything is done right now. I only need to add some type of table, for example. Select it, rescale it, something like that, because it's a training. Scale is not really important. I only want to show you how you can create some super realistic exterior render. So something like that, apply changes, and everything is done for us. For some places like these background, you can click on the clear all in here, click on the all option, and if I type Ivy in this place and press enter, I have some multiple IVs like that. It's really helpful for your realistic render. For example, this one, select it, rotate it about 90 degree, click on the move option and move them, for example, in this place. You can click on the scale bar and change the scale of it, something like that. And it don't have any special problem, don't worry about it. Something like this. I'm going to click on the apply changes and you can see the result in the background. And another type of vase in corner of my job, for example, something like that. Select it, rescale it, rotate it, and apply changes. As you can see, everything is done for us, and now I only want to render my job. So I'm going to click on the CAD number 1 in here. You can see the changes very simple and easy. And now I'm going to click on the screenshot in here and save it on my desktop as the exterior Enscape render. And I'm going to click on the press save. So as you can see, Enscape will be rendering this image for us. Very simple. In few minutes or maybe seconds. It completely depends on your graphic card. I use graphic card NVIDIA GTX 1050. So I'm gonna show you what is it. First of all, you can right click on it and click on the show more option, properties. The render size is about 10.4 megabytes, so it's really heavy right now. And this is the final shot and render for us. You can see the detail of it. The detail of Enscape is really amazing, especially in these places which we have some trees reflections on the glass or the all other type of shadows and details in here. You can see all the details very simple and easy. For example, the ivy's reflection on the water and all of these amazing things. If this tutorial useful for you, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. We spent more than 24 minutes for creating this tutorial and many hours for editing it. So please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Watch this till the end. And if this content is useful for you, please share it with your friends. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. Good luck and goodbye.